Hello friends. In this video, I will share my impressions of a desk lamp from the Xiaomi Home ecosystem. I have already built up some experience. I still use the very first Xiaomi desk lamp, and I also have models from Tuya Smart and models without external control. And I decided to get this model because of the features of its design. It has a T-shaped form and a long light panel that shines from top to bottom, illuminating a large area of the desk. Besides that, it has very convenient manual control, high quality and bright LEDs, and full integration into a smart home. In this review, we will look at the package contents, assemble it, figure out the manual controls, and take measurements in different lighting modes. Next, we will connect the lamp to Xiaomi Home, look at the available settings and automations, and definitely integrate it into Home Assistant. More about all this follows, and for now, as usual, I ask you to like this video. It will help other people who are interested in the smart home topic to find it, and subscribe to my channel if you have not done so before. Let us start with the main specifications and the design. The main feature of the Mijia Desk Lamp 2 is not the classic L-shaped form, but a T-shaped design with a long 60cm light panel. Because of this format, the lamp does not shine in a narrow spot in front of itself, but covers most of the work desk. This is convenient if there is not only a laptop on the desk, but also a keyboard, a notebook, tools, or if you simply need to evenly illuminate a wide area. Maximum power is 11 watts. Color temperature adjustment is from 2700 to 5100 Kelvin, and the declared color rendering index is RA97. As for delivery, this time it turned out a little unusual. Usually I have to pick up such parcels myself, but here the lamp was delivered by courier to my apartment. For small devices, this does not happen very often for me. Usually this is how something heavy arrives, like batteries. A small thing, but nice. And the packaging itself is as simple as possible. An ordinary box, just wrapped in bubble wrap. There was no additional shipping box here. So next we will see how well everything arrived inside. After the bubble wrap, there is immediately the lamp box itself. It is a little crumpled at the corners, but without critical damage. Considering the size of the lamp, this is a good result. The packaging itself is long, and such items usually suffer first during delivery. Here everything looks intact, so we can move on to the unboxing. The lamp arrives disassembled. The base, the stand, the light panel, and the power supply are separate. All the parts are laid out in their own sections and tightly fixed with cardboard, so nothing moves around inside. Assembly here is simple, without any complicated fasteners, and a little later I will show this process separately. Here is the full package contents. The longest part is the light panel, then a separate vertical stand, the base, the power supply, a plug adapter, and a small bag with fasteners. Inside it, there is a screw and a small screwdriver, so there is no need to look for anything extra for assembly. The only strange point is that the adapter in the package turned out to be for a British plug, although I chose a European one. But otherwise the set is standard. Everything needed for assembly and the first start is in the box. The dimensions are as follows. The vertical stand is 45 centimeters, and the light panel itself is 60 centimeters. Taking into account the thickness of the panel, the light source is located at a height of about 44 centimeters above the desk. Because of this height and the long panel, the lamp illuminates a wide work area. According to the manufacturer, the light spot should be enough for an area of about 1.2 by 0.6 meters on the desk. The instruction manual in the package is in Chinese, but that is not a problem now. It can quickly be translated through any online translator or neural network. Here I have already made a translation into English, and the diagrams clearly show that the assembly is very simple. In fact, only one screw is needed to fix the stand into the base. It is in a separate small bag together with the screwdriver, so all the necessary fasteners are already included. Right now I will show how it is assembled. Assembly begins with installing the vertical stand into the base. Everything here is made in such a way that it is impossible to make a mistake. The mount has its own shape, and the stand fits only in one correct position. The power connector is located on the stand itself. After installation, it will be directed backwards, which means the cable will go toward the wall and will not stick out in front of the lamp on the desk. After installing the stand, all that remains is to fix it from below. For this, one included screw is used. It is screwed in from the underside of the base and holds the vertical stand in place. No separate tool is needed. The package already includes a small screwdriver, which is used to tighten this screw. The assembly turns out to be very simple. Essentially, the entire mechanical part is held by one fastening point. After assembly, the power connector ends up on the back side of the vertical stand. And here there is one important difference from the previous version. In this model, the base does not contain electronics. It is simply a massive stand that holds the lamp on the desk. Power is connected to the stand, while the main electronics are located in the upper block, and the controls are located there as well. Because of this, the base turned out visually very simple and neat. The next step is installing the upper part with the light panel. There is no screw fastening here anymore. The module is simply inserted into the stand and fixed with a latch. The connection is also directional, so it is impossible to install it incorrectly. Inside, two flat contacts are visible. Through them, the upper part receives power from the stand. That means after it clicks into place, the lamp is essentially already assembled and ready to be connected. If the upper part needs to be removed, this is also done without tools. There is a button on the housing that releases the latch, after which the light module is simply removed from the stand. As a result, the whole construction is assembled and disassembled very quickly. For ordinary use, this will not be needed very often, but the approach itself is convenient. No complicated fasteners and no unnecessary actions. Since all the electronics are moved into the upper part, the controls are also located here, directly on the front side of the light panel. In my opinion, this is a successful solution. There is no need to reach for the base or keep it freely accessible, as with many ordinary desk lamps. In my use case, this is especially convenient, taking into account its placement. I will show exactly how closer to the end of the review, but with this arrangement of the buttons, manual control remains within reach. The manual control here is quite clear. In the center there is the power button. On the left there is a touch scale for adjusting the color temperature, and on the right there is the same kind of scale for brightness. You can not only press, but also slide your finger along the strip and quickly set the desired level. There are also two separate buttons for quick modes. The first turns on focus mode. The lamp works for a set time and then reminds you to take a break. These intervals are configured in the app. The second button is reading mode. This is a ready-made preset in which the lamp immediately sets a suitable brightness and color temperature without manual adjustment. Now let us move from the design to the light itself. It is difficult to convey the real brightness and color temperature on camera. The camera's automatic processing still smooths out the picture a little. But I will try and will also take illuminance measurements at different color temperatures. This will make it clearer how the light changes not only visually, but also in numbers, depending on the selected mode. The maximum color temperature of this lamp is 5100 Kelvin. This is a little lower than in many adjustable lamps, where the upper limit often goes up to 6500 K. But personally for me, this is more of a normal choice than a drawback. In practice, I almost never use very cold light with a noticeable blue tint. Usually the maximum is about 5000 K when bright white work light is needed. Here this is exactly the kind of option. The light is already sufficiently white and energizing, but at the same time it does not look excessively cold. For a work desk, in my opinion, this range is quite sufficient. The middle position of the scale is approximately 3900 Kelvin. For me, this is the most universal option. It is a neutral mode that works well for normal desk work. In automations, I most often use light with a temperature of 4000 K, comfortable light without excessive warmth and without a blue tint. The minimum color temperature is 2700 Kelvin. This is already warm, noticeably yellow light. Personally, this mode is not very suitable for work for me. It feels dimmer and too warm. I would rather use it at low brightness as a soft evening backlight or something like a night light. But specifically for a desk lamp and a work desk, I am much more comfortable with the middle range, closer to 4000 K. Now let us check the brightness not by eye, but with the help of a lux meter. I will take the measurements at the lamp's maximum brightness. Only the color temperature will change: warm, neutral, and the whitest mode. This will show how the real illuminance differs depending on the chosen light temperature. Because visually one mode may seem brighter than another, but the numbers here will show the picture more objectively. According to the measurement results, The brightest turned out to be the neutral mode. The lux meter showed about 10,100 lux. At the maximum color temperature, 5,100 K, the value is slightly lower, about 9,800 lux. The difference is small, but it is there. But with warm light, 2,700 K, the drop is already more noticeable, 7,600 lux. And this matches the visual impression well. The warm mode really is perceived as dimmer. So for maximum brightness and desk work, the most successful option looks to be the middle range, closer to neutral light. Before moving on to the app, I will show one more useful button combination. It is needed to reset the lamp and put it into pairing mode. This can be useful during the first connection or if the lamp needs to be added to the app again. To reset it, you need to press and hold the focus mode button and the reading mode button at the same time for about 7 seconds. After that, the lamp goes into connection standby mode. The light begins to pulse smoothly, and the device can be searched for in the app. We will begin the logical part of the review with the native control system, Mi Home, or, as it is now called, Xiaomi Home. Since the lamp is intended for the Chinese market, in my app the region, mainland China, is selected. The lamp connects via 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi, so at the moment of adding it, the phone also has to be connected to exactly such a network. After the first power on, the lamp is automatically detected by the app and appears in the list of available devices. After that, it remains only to select it, specify the Wi-Fi, and go through the standard adding process. If automatic detection for some reason did not work, the lamp can be added manually. To do this, select Mijia Desk Lamp 2 from the list of devices, after which the app itself will tell you how to put the lamp into pairing mode. This is the same combination with holding two buttons that I showed earlier. After that, the process goes in the standard way. The phone connects directly to the lamp via Bluetooth and transfers to it the data of your home Wi-Fi network. After that, the lamp connects to the router and appears in Xiaomi Home. After the first launch, the Xiaomi Home plugin immediately checks for updates. In my case, a new firmware version was available, and the app suggested installing it. I usually install such updates right away so that I can then test the device already on the latest version. After the update, the lamp reboots, and in the firmware section it can be seen that the current version is already the latest. After that, we can move on to studying the plugin. The plugin is quite standard for lamps in Xiaomi Home. The background changes depending on the lamp's state. When it is off, the screen is dark. When it is on, it is light. The main elements are located in the upper part, the power button, below it the brightness control, and below that the color temperature slider. Next come ready-made presets, the auto-off timer, the schedule, and the automation section, where you can view or configure scenarios involving this lamp. The plugin already has 6 ready-made presets. Each of them is its own combination of brightness and color temperature. For example, reading mode turns the lamp on at full brightness and sets about 3,900 K. And the computer mode is softer, 50% brightness and warm light at 2,700 K. In addition to the ready-made options, you can also create your own custom modes. Here you simply set a name, choose the required brightness, the color temperature, and save it. The countdown timer works once. You set the time, and when it ends, the lamp changes its current state. If it was on, it will turn off. If it was off, it will turn on. And the schedule is needed for regular operation. Here you can set switching on and off by time, and also choose the days of the week when this should repeat. For example, turn the lamp on in the morning on work days or turn it off in the evening. In the general settings, besides the standard items, there are several useful options. Behavior after power restoration. You can choose one of 3 options: restore the previous state, always turn on after power is supplied, or, on the contrary, remain turned off. The next setting is the fade in and fade out time. That is, the lamp may not light up and go out instantly, but do it smoothly over a set number of seconds. The focus mode is configured here as well, the same one that can be turned on with the button on the lamp itself. The switch on the right simply turns this mode on or off, and if you press the name on the left, its parameters open. By default, it is set to 45 minutes of work, 10 minutes of rest, and 2 repeats. But all of this can be changed to suit you. The focus and rest time can be adjusted within the range from 1 minute to 1.5 hours, and the number of repeats from 1 to 60. The lamp can be used in Xiaomi Home automations, and not only as a device, but also as a condition or trigger. In the first case, tracking of two states is available: the lamp turned on or the lamp turned off. And in the action section, there are many more options. The lamp can simply be turned on or off. Its current state can be toggled. It can be turned on with auto off after a specified time. The configuration of this action is shown on the right slide. There is also switching on with a selected preset, which we looked at a little earlier. Separate actions are also available for brightness and color temperature. You can increase or decrease the brightness, make the light warmer or colder, or switch these parameters in steps. Here are the settings of some options. For example, turning on presets, reading, computer, warm light, office mode, and so on. For changing brightness, a step in percent is set. How much brighter or dimmer the lamp should become after the scenario is executed. And for color temperature, the step is set in Kelvin. That is, the automation cannot simply turn on the light, but gradually change it to suit the required situation. Make it brighter, dim it, shift it to a warmer or whiter mode. Before moving on to Home Assistant, it is worth doing one important thing: assigning a permanent IP address to the lamp in the router settings. For Xiaomi Home, this is not critical. The app controls the device through the cloud, and a change of the local address does not particularly interfere with it. But for local control from Home Assistant, the address is already important. If after a router reboot or a firmware update the lamp gets a different IP address, the integration may lose connection with it, and the device will have to be reconfigured. Therefore, it is better to immediately find the lamp in the list of router clients and assign its current address to it. For new devices from the Xiaomi Home ecosystem, I have long been using the Xiaomi Miot integration. It is convenient because it supports a large number of Xiaomi devices and often makes it possible to quickly add to Home Assistant even those models that do not work through the standard integrations. On this screen, you can see several devices that are already connected through Xiaomi Miot. Reviews of them can be found on my channel. I add the lamp to one of the already created integration blocks. By the way, such blocks can be configured for different accounts and different regions. I used the same account. I added it several times simply to separate devices by locations. In the created block, there is no need to enter the login and password again. I simply start reconfiguration and mark the new lamp in the list of devices. In the general list, it is displayed as Desk Lamp with the same IP address that I previously assigned in the router. After adding it, a new entry appeared in the selected Xiaomi Miot block, Desk Lamp. The integration identified it as model Xiaomi.light.lamp31 and created 5 entities for it. This is already a good sign. The device did not simply appear in the list, but provided a set of parameters that can be used in Home Assistant. The set is quite interesting. The main thing is that there is a light entity, and it has many additional settings that we will look at separately. Besides that, the integration created 2 sliders for fade-in and fade-out time. Although in Home Assistant something similar can also be implemented through automations. There is also a toggle button, which simply switches the lamp's state, and an info button in diagnostics. This is what the main light entity looks like. Here, not only turning on and off is available, but also light control, smooth brightness adjustment, and color temperature change. Home Assistant also shows several quick temperature presets. These are Home Assistant presets, not the modes that we saw in Xiaomi Home. Presets from Xiaomi Home are also available in Home Assistant and are located in the Effects menu, and they can be launched from Home Assistant manually and from automations. And here is my main use case for this lamp, a workspace with a laptop. And this is exactly where its design reveals itself well. In previous lamps, the manual controls were located in the base, and with such placement, it was inconvenient to reach them. But in this model, the buttons are moved to the front part of the light panel, so access to them is easy and fast. The light falls from top to bottom, illuminates the keyboard and the work area in front of the laptop well. At the same time, it does not shine into the eyes and does not create glare on the screen. Plus, the lamp connected to Home Assistant without problems, so it can be used not only manually, but also in automations. Honestly, in this scenario, I do not even know what else I would want from a desk lamp. Usually I try to name some disadvantages, but here for my workspace, everything turned out almost perfect. That is all. I hope this video was useful and interesting. I will be grateful for your likes, and those who have the desire and the possibility can use the sponsorship function on the channel. If you do not want to miss new reviews and lessons, subscribe to my channel. In the description under the video, you will find links to stores where you can buy this lamp, links to my social networks, Telegram channels, and a group for communication on smart home topics. Join us. It will be interesting. Thank you for your attention. Until next time, peace to everyone.